Soul Healing, where I give you coaching, shamanic healing, and feng shui. And some of you may have seen my last video where I was talking about the feng shui, where I was talking about the Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year, the year of the Yin Water Rabbit. And I said I was going to come on and give you some more tips. So I'm about to do that. So, first of all, it's called the Yin Water Rabbit year. There are two types of water in Chinese philosophy. There's yin water and yang water. This past year has been yang water, the year of the tiger. Now, yang water is the water that's like the ocean, very full of action, full of a lot of chi, a lot. It's very yang. It moves a lot. It can be kind of rough. It's swiftly moving water. Think of whitewater rafting, that kind of water. That's yang water. Yin water is much more gentle. It's the water that is like you would find in a lake or a pond, very still kind of water. Uh, if it's moving, it would be more like a babbling brook. So that's the energy that this coming up year is moving into. It's from this strong, yang water tiger energy to this yin water rabbit energy. So as you can probably tell just by the sound of it, it's much gentler. It's a much gentler energy. So let me talk a little bit about what that means for you. So water in general is about intuition. So in the yin water rabbit year, you want to be trusting your intuition and going with the flow, um, and staying open, like trying not to go into the year with like very fixed ideas of how things should be, but much more feeling aligned with the flow of things, being open minded, open to new possibilities. If you can maintain that sort of state of mind, you're going to feel a lot better. Don't limit yourself, in other words, okay? Because you never know what could happen. I feel like it'll be a year of a lot of surprises. Um, it's also a year not to push too much because of the quality of yin water. It doesn't really work when you're pushing something through with your will. At the same time, the challenge this year is going to be about making firm decisions and also setting boundaries. And this is because water doesn't really have boundaries, or if in its nature, the earth can create boundaries for it, but it is the nature of water to want to just spread and flow wherever. So having those boundaries, creating those boundaries might feel a bit more challenging than it would normally feel. Um, you may feel more relaxed this past year, or you probably will feel more relaxed and more calm, which is good. But at the same time, you could at times feel stuck. Um, Things might start to stagnate, or like something will happen very quickly and then nothing for a long period of time, which could lead to some frustration and the desire to push, which won't really work. So you need to maybe work a little bit harder to keep yourself focused on your goals and not get discouraged when things are not necessarily flowing the way you would like them to, and not get distracted. It's very easy to get distracted. If you think about the tortoise and the hare, that story, right? Where, the rabbit was kept, jumping along and then stopping and looking around, getting distracted. Meanwhile, the tortoise is just doop, 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 steadily towards his goal. And who won the race? The tortoise. So don't allow yourself to get distracted. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep yourself focused. The energy of rabbit itself, of course, is the energy of creation, of fertility. So it's a year where it's a year that really welcomes and fosters and nurtures creative enterprise of any kind, creativity of any kind. This could mean having a baby. Maybe you want to get pregnant, and this is the year to start a family. This is a good year to do that. Or maybe you want to create a project, work on a project or something. This is the year to do that. It's also a really good year for businesses, small businesses, and entrepreneurs because creativity is so necessary in those businesses. So if you have a small business, or if you're thinking about starting one, this is a very good year where you can come up with a lot of creative ideas for that, which is really good. Or if you have an existing business or an existing thing that you work at, coming up with new ways to do things, thinking outside of the box. It's a very good year for that. It's supposed to be a very good year for the hospitality and wellness industry, in particular luxury. So spa businesses, maybe that could be something you might want to consider going into if that's your sort of, if that's your jam. But any kind of creative industry or industries where your intuition is important, any kind of business or work where you have to use your intuition. You might feel your intuition heightened if you are at all intuitive. I mean, we all are if we tune into it. People think that they're not intuitive, everyone is. There are some of us who are more open and more, in tune with their intuition, but everyone is intuitive. So it's a really good year to connect to your intuition and to develop it. And I don't just mean psychic intuition, just, everyone is intuitive. So listening to your gut, listening to your intuition is very much favored this year. It's a really fertile energy. Um, and it's also, the rabbit can stand for symbolizing love and friendship. So anything that you do towards fostering friendships, relationships, not necessarily romance, although of course that can be one of these types of relationships or loves, but also networking, starting new groups of friendships, anything connecting with people. Rabbit loves that. No pun intended. And there is a caution because it's a water year. Um, be very careful of leaks and floods in your home. As soon as you see a leak or some potential problem with water, please get it fixed because it's only going to get worse. And there may be an increase in natural disasters on the planet involving water, flooding, and so forth. So just, I mean, take whatever precautions you need to take for that. If you do have excess water in the house, one of the great feng shui remedies for that is wood. So bringing in more plants into your home can benefit you if you have an excess of water, if you have a problem with too much water in your house. But really should contact a feng shui practitioner to get professional advice about your situation because blanket advice for everybody doesn't really work. Every home or business has its own particular feng shui issues. So, but in general, if there's an excess of water, bringing in wood element can help to balance that out because the wood absorbs the water in the Chinese five elements theory. Um, and lastly, I've mentioned before that you should clean your house before the 22nd, which is the New Year's Day, or preferably before the 21st. So you have tomorrow or the rest of today to clean your house, or maybe the morning of the 21st. But in addition, you can celebrate with some foods that are great for the Chinese New Year, traditional foods. One would be to eat a whole fish. A whole fish represents abundance. Not a part of a fish, not a fillet, but a whole fish. The Chinese will sit around a table and eating these beautiful whole fish. And you can make it with chili and ginger, and it's delicious. Or if you don't like it that way, you can have it another way. Also, to represent long life, noodles, eating noodles, particularly if you can find these like super, super long noodles. The longer the noodle, the longer the life is the belief. But so don't eat any short noodles. Eat long noodles. Um, at the very least, spaghetti. But if you can get them longer, that's better. You know those like really, really long Chinese noodles. So eating noodles is a wonderful way to symbolize long life. And as I said before, oranges are always really great to have to symbolize good chi and abundance and all of that. So I think that that's all for my tips. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. Please like this video. If you didn't get to watch it live, you could put hashtag replay in any comments that you have or any questions. And, please share this video because I think the information is useful for anybody. So that's about it. And if you would like any information about working with me in Feng Shui work or Shamanic Healing work or coaching, please just drop me a line. You can send me a message or you can email me. All that stuff is on my page. So happy year of the Yin Water Rabbit. May you have infinite blessings. Infinite blessings. And sending you virtual red envelopes to wish you good luck. Red envelopes in the Chinese tradition have money in them, and they're given to ensure prosperity for the new year. So I'm sending you virtual red envelopes, and you can send me virtual red envelopes. Just wish me prosperity and abundance as I wish it to you. So best of luck in this new year. Enjoy the energies. Go with the flow. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.